give a small report.
This is what it is.
Did you get those the contract?
Not 3 minutes before the meeting, ma'am, no.
Oh, that's how you did it.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hi, I'm Pam Crockett, and I'm the chairman of the Hospital Commission. And we have a brief report for you, and to be followed by Mr. Bordelon. As you may know, the Eureka Springs Hospital Commission has been engaged in litigation since September 2009 with Allegiance Health Management, who currently manages the Eureka Springs Hospital. The litigation was in regard to funds that the Commission believed to belong to the Commission/City. We believed it was absolutely necessary to keep these funds in order to have a safety net to pay off our debts and assist in keeping the hospital open in the event that Allegiance Health Management, for any reason, decided to terminate our lease agreement and the Commission would have to take over the running of the hospital again. A settlement has been reached with Allegiance, and the Commission retains the funds we believe to be ours. As per the settlement agreement, Mr. Rock Bordelon, the CEO of Allegiance, and he has brought with him Mr. Cameron, his Chief Operating Officer, and Joe Mitchell, who is the current administrator of the hospital. And Mr. Bordelon and his people are going to tell us what their plan is for the hospital, and we're hoping to move forward in a very positive manner. Thanks.
Can I ask questions before she leaves?
Yeah. Yeah, she's going to hang around too.
I'm going to leave you.
Okay, well, I'll ask at the end.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. How you doing?
Good. Good evening, everyone. I guess I want to talk about the future of the hospital in two different aspects. The first aspect is going to be operationally. Allegiance came in and took over the operations of the hospital in October of 2007. So we've been here just over 3 years now. And since we've come in, I think that we have made some changes operationally that have been sound for the hospital, have helped move it forward, have brought additional revenue to the community and to the hospital, additional services to service the patients of Eureka Springs. It is our goal, desire, and we will continue to operate the hospital going forward indefinitely. I personally love Eureka Springs, and I think that it's a good community. Love to come to Eureka Springs, and I think that the hospital is a good project as well, and is a good endeavor in business for the community and for Allegiance. The second part of which, whenever we originally came, it was our intent to look at erecting a new building for the hospital, to have a new hospital building that the current hospital will move to and operate within. It is still our goal and desire to do that. We put that on hold for some time until we reached a settlement with the Board of Commissioners, and now that that's done, it's my goal, my desire, and hopefully, and I think I can say that undoubtedly we will try to work. Of course, it'll be a couple of months, with Thanksgiving and Christmas coming, not much typically gets done, but in 2011, it's my goal for myself, Mr. Joe Mitchell, Don Cameron, and other Allegiance people to work collaboratively with the board to move forward and to try to get a new building for the hospital to move into. Not willing to commit to any timelines as of yet. There's much discussion that I think needs to happen, and there's very, very many possibilities as far as for what and how the structure for a new building can be. So we are going to, as a company, tackle that after the first of the year. Other than that, guys, like I said, we've been here for 3 years, and I think the addition of Mr. Joe Mitchell coming in March has been a breath of fresh air for the hospital. I have had a lot of positive feedback from the community relative to the care that we're giving. Of course, we're never going to have 100% success, but we strive to be the best that we can be and continue to do so. Thank you for having us tonight, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions.
How many hospitals do you operate?
Right now, we have 5 general acute care hospitals. We have 2 long-term acute care hospitals. We have approximately 8 inpatient psych hospitals and approximately 50 outpatient psych programs.
Do you own any of those facilities? Do you own any of those facilities?
The hospital or the building?
The building.
Yes.
How many of those?
Don, how many of the buildings do we own?
We own the actual, the Sabine Hospital. We own the real estate of that hospital.
Right.
There are others that we own actually the operation of the hospitals.
Right. And, you know, there are several ways that you can structure it. You can own the real estate, or we could partner up with the commission to do a new hospital. We could bring in an external group and do what's called a lease back, where someone else would come in and actually build the hospital for us and we lease it back. Just to name 3 of the different ways that we could bring a new hospital, a new building.
If your goal is to have a new building, and our goal as a hospital commission is the same, and we were working for the same, do you feel like there's been a part either on your part or our part that we've not helped facilitate and get this going forward? Has it just been economics? Is it just been, I mean, to me, sitting back watching it and just hearing it, I would think that, you know, being in litigation might put a little strain on my communication skills with you. So, you know, I want to know that we're going to go forward and that we're going to make this happen together as a group. And do you know any reason that should not happen, or are you having trouble with our commission or any of those things?
I'll say this. We did have our disagreements and our disputes. We've put them behind us. And when we reached the settlement that we reached a month ago or so, I look at it as it's behind me. It's behind us. We will, at the beginning of the year, sit down, just as you guys are tonight, across the table from one another, and try to work a deal to where we can get a new building. And whether that means we do it, lease back, work with the commission to do something together. You know, there are several ways it can be done again. But I think that the disagreements that we've had and what's happened in the past is in the past. And so moving forward, we're going to move forward.
Okay, and then I did want to say, you know, when you took over, our hospital had a lot of debt. It had a lot of things that was not working right, and Allegiant did come in and get that cleaned up, and it seems to be doing much better. I hear good reports about it. I haven't gotten my hands on the contract yet, but I was curious to know if in that contract, when you didn't meet the date for that hospital building to break ground, was there something in that contract that if you don't do this, this happens?
There was, but part of the settlement agreement did away with any penalties for that side of the equation as well.
That's what I was going to ask my commissioner, but
That was part of the lawsuit.
okay.
Anybody else? Mr. DeVito?
With all due respect, and I have not looked into the background of Allegiance, and I'm sure Ms. Blankenship is correct in the opinion, but I sat at this very table about 8 years ago and listened to this very same presentation by a different group, and now we have y'all here basically saying the same thing that the last group. So I have some trepidation, and it has nothing to do with you, but we've been down this road before. So, you know, what is different of your group? You know, why do you feel so confident, and why do you feel that you can succeed when we listened to this very same presentation a few years back?
I'm not sure who
Well, his
presented
name was
and
Knight.
came in 8 years ago. But what I will tell you is this: in the last 2 years, we have done 2 different deals that have been in excess of $10 million apiece. In fact, one's to close next week. And we have the ability to procure the funding, have done it, are doing it, and will continue to do it. Whereas I can't speak to the gentleman that came in 8 years ago, I'm not sure. But we do have the ability to do. In fact, I think our architect for a $3 million renovations project that we're in the middle of right now is actually a local gentleman from here in town that I met in coming in and taking over the hospital. And I'm sure he will attest to what we're doing out and about as well. And our goal is to put money back into the communities, into the buildings, into the projects that we do. Whether it's a new ER, new front entrance that may cost $2 or $3 million, or whatever we need to do, that's what we do.
So are you talking about a completely separate freestanding new hospital, or are you going to retrofit the existing hospital?
It's of my opinion that the old one can't be retrofitted to do what we need to do, so it'd be a new one.
Same place or elsewhere?
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Same place or elsewhere?
No, elsewhere within the city.
Anybody else?
I'd like to ask our hospital commission if there's something that you feel you need from us, or if we can do anything more to support you, to help you make decisions.
Actually, I don't,
Come here,
I don't know
Pam.
of anything. We have talked periodically to the mayor about our problems, and we did the litigation because we thought that needed to be done. I, like Mr. Bordelon, consider the settlement done and that we are moving on, and the hospital commission will do everything we can to support him. This man has brought the hospital back. We agree that he has, but we need a new building, and we just need to find a way to get that new building, because this building, do you all understand that if this hospital closes for one day, that there will be no more hospital here? Because if we close it for a day, the building does not meet code anymore. So we can never go back into it. This man has to keep the hospital open for us. Somehow, some way, we will try our very best to get a new building. The situation that Mr. DeVito referred to about the last one, that hospital didn't happen because of the politics of other local hospitals that went to Washington and stopped that deal. We had a Department of Agriculture grant started to build a new hospital, and politicians in this area stopped it. So, this is a hospital that is being run by a private concern. When it was run by the hospital commission, it was a not-for-profit. This man is a for-profit. He's probably going to have to go out somewhere and retain funds, somebody to come build the hospital. The groundwork has already been done to make sure we can get another acute care hospital built in the city limits here. That paperwork's been done. We just have to, after the first of the year, find a way to get that done. And I can tell you, we will all come to you for help when we need it.
Anybody else? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. You have a good evening.
Don't stay away so long.
Okay, that puts us back to old business. Number 1 is a discussion of the proposed ordinance 2130. We're on our 3rd reading. Mr. Brammer.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules and procedures and read ordinance 2130 for its 3rd and final reading.
Second.